My father offered you money to leave me. You have no idea what those words did to me. The moment I heard them, something inside me snapped, not because I doubted you, but because I finally understood how desperate he is to pull you out of my life. He thinks you're a distraction, a weakness, something that can be removed with a pile of money on a polished table. He thinks you can be bought. He thinks you can be pushed away from me like you're nothing more than a temporary mistake I'll eventually outgrow. He doesn't know what you've become to me. When I look at you, I don't see someone who can be replaced. I don't see someone who can be priced. I see the one thing in this world I refuse to lose, even if it means turning against everything I've ever known. And he hates that. He hates the way I change when it comes to you. He hates the way my voice hardens, the way my temper rises, the way my loyalty shifts. He hates knowing that the power he spent years building collapses with just one word from you. Do you even understand why he tried to buy your distance? Because when it comes to you, I become dangerous, unpredictable. I stop listening to him, to the rules, to the legacy, to the crown. You pull me away from the life he designed and toward the life I want, a life where I choose you, even if it destroys everything else. And that terrifies him more than any threat outside the palace walls. But I want to know something, even if it hurts. Did you think about it, even for a moment? Did you imagine what it would be like to leave, to breathe without my shadow following you, to escape the weight of my world? Because you could have said yes. You could have taken the money, walked away, and disappeared from every corner of my existence. But you didn't. And that's what scares me the most. Not the thought of losing you, but the realization of how deeply you've chosen to stay. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not asking because I'm afraid of your answer. I'm asking because I want your truth. I want to know if his offer made you hesitate, if it made you wonder whether being with me is worth the chaos, the darkness, the danger. Because I know what I am. I know I'm not easy to love. I know I'm not soft or safe or simple. But I also know this: I would burn the entire kingdom before letting anyone take you from me. My father offered you money to leave me, but he never understood the one thing that matters. You're not someone who can be bought, and I'm not someone who lets go. Not for him, not for the world, not for anything. You came into my life without warning, and now you're tied to me, whether you admit it or not. And no amount of money, threat, or fear will ever change that. You're mine. And I'm not negotiating that with anyone. You already know why he tried to push you away. He's seen the way I look at you, the way I lose myself, the way my control fractures the second your name crosses someone's lips. He realized something long before you did. You are the only thing in this world that can pull me off the path he built for me. And he hates you for that, not because of who you are, but because of what you do to me without even trying. You undo me, and he can't buy that kind of power. He can only fear it. But what he doesn't understand is this: every attempt he makes to separate us only pushes me deeper into you. Every threat, every offer, every warning, it only reminds me of how far I've already fallen. You think I don't know the risks? You think I don't see how dangerous this bond is becoming? I do. I feel it every time I breathe your name, but I still choose you, even when choosing you feels like choosing war. You're not the weakness he thinks you are. You're the weapon I willingly hand myself to. He believes you're fragile, easy to move, easy to remove. He doesn't know you the way I do. He hasn't seen the fire in you, the quiet stubbornness, the strength you hide behind your silence. You didn't bend, you didn't run. Even when the world around you shook, you stood there and faced it. That's what ruined his plan. He expected fear in your eyes, not resolve. He expected you to walk away. Instead, you stayed, and that single choice changed everything. You staying pulled the truth out of me I never wanted to confront, that I am no longer in control when it comes to you. I can command armies, silence countries, bring kings to their knees, but I can't command myself when it comes to you. You make me reckless, you make me human, you make me unhinged. That terrifies me more than anything my father could ever do, but it also anchors me in a way nothing else ever has. You're the chaos that steadies me, and if I'm being honest, part of me wants him to try again. I want him to push. I want him to test how far I'll go to keep you, not because I want conflict, but because I want him to finally see the truth he keeps ignoring. I'm not the obedient son he raised. I'm not the prince he shaped. I'm something darker, something sharper, and you're the reason why. He keeps trying to buy his version of me back, but he doesn't realize that version died the moment you entered my life. You don't realize the power you hold. You think you're just caught in the middle of a world too heavy for your shoulders, but you're the axis everything is turning around. My decisions, my silence, my fury, my restraint, they all revolve around you now, whether I want them to or not. And that means you're no longer just someone I care about. You're someone I would cross every boundary for, someone I would break rules for, someone I would betray blood for. And that's why no offer, not even from my father, will ever be enough to make you disappear from my life. He can buy the kingdom, he can buy loyalty, he can buy silence, but he will never buy what I feel for you. Because what I feel isn't something money can touch. It's darker, deeper, more dangerous than he'll ever understand. You're tied to me now, and nothing, not fear, not power, not blood, is strong enough to untie you from me. You still don't understand what your presence has done to my world. Before you, every path was already chosen for me. Every step, every breath, every decision carved by someone else's hands. I was meant to obey, to inherit, to serve the legacy I was born into. But the moment you entered my life, that legacy cracked. You made me question everything I was built to accept. You made me feel things I had no business feeling. And that is exactly why they want you gone. Because they can't control the man I become when it comes to you. They think taking you away will fix me. They think distance will turn me back into the version they trained. The version who bows without hesitation, who follows orders without a heartbeat of rebellion. But what they fail to understand is that you didn't break me. You revealed me. You brought out the part of me that refuses to kneel, the part of me that breathes for something more than power and duty. And once that part woke up, there was no putting it back to sleep. You think I don't see the fear in your eyes when my world collides too close with yours? I do. You're scared because you know what I'm capable of, and you know I do it all for you without a second thought. You've seen the edge inside me, the darkness I try to hide from everyone else. But what scares you more is the way that darkness softens around you, the way it bends, shapes itself, wraps around you like it recognizes its opposite. I'm dangerous to everyone, but I'm never dangerous to you. Sometimes I wonder if you know how deep I've fallen, if you understand that I don't just want you, I revolve around you. Even when you're far, even when you're silent, even when you're unsure of what you mean to me. You've become the obsession I can't fight, the weakness I'd still choose, the mistake I'd repeat 1,000 times just to feel the way I do when you look at me like you're trying to figure me out, and you never will, because even I can't figure myself out when it comes to you. I know they'll keep trying. My father, the advisors, the guards, all of them, they'll whisper warnings, they'll make offers, they'll draw lines and expect me to obey them, but I won't. Not when it comes to you. Every attempt they make only tightens the hold you have on me. Every threat they issue only pushes me closer to the edge, and God help anyone who ever thinks crossing that edge is a good idea. I would tear apart my own blood before I let them take you from me. You don't have to choose me. You don't have to say you want me, or need me, or even trust me. I don't need your promises. I don't need your certainty. All I need is your presence, the simple truth that you're still here, because you staying speaks louder than anything you could ever say. It tells me you're brave enough to stand in the fire with me, even when the world tries to pull you out of it. And so understand this, you were never something they could buy, and I will never be someone they can convince to let you go. You're part of my world now, the part I protect with everything I am, everything I have, and everything I'm willing to become. And if they want to see how far I'll go to keep you, they're welcome to try. They won't like the answer. You don't realize how loud your silence becomes when you pull away from me. It echoes through every hallway, every corner of this palace, like a reminder of everything they're trying to steal from me. They think removing you would steady me, calm me, put me back into the shape they carved years ago. But your absence would only make me worse. They don't understand that you're the only thing that keeps the darkness inside me from swallowing everything else whole. Without you, I wouldn't be the prince they want. I'd be something far more brutal, far more uncontrollable, far more like the monster they fear I could become. And that's why they're desperate. They've seen the way my eyes search for you even when you're nowhere near me, the way my expression changes when someone merely says your name, the way my anger sharpens if anyone speaks about you with even a hint of disrespect. They see it, the hold you have over me, and it terrifies them, because nothing in this kingdom has ever had power over me except you, and power like that in their world must be removed, destroyed, silenced. So they try money, they try warnings, they try fear, but none of it touches what exists between us. Sometimes I imagine what you must have felt when you heard that offer. Maybe for a moment you wondered if taking it would protect me, if walking away would make my life easier, cleaner, safer. Maybe you thought disappearing would somehow help me. But that's where you're wrong. Leaving me wouldn't save me. It would break me. It would rip out the only part of my world that feels real, that feels mine, that feels like something I chose, not something forced on me since birth. You leaving wouldn't protect me. It would destroy everything that holds me together. I know you're afraid of the weight of my world. Anyone would be. Power like this comes with shadows, with threats, with blood that doesn't wash off easily. And loving someone in this world, or even standing close to them, is dangerous. You didn't ask for any of this, yet you're tangled in it now, tied to me in ways you never expected. And part of you wonders if it's worth it, if I'm worth it. I can feel that fear even when you try to hide it. But I also feel the pull, that invisible thread that keeps dragging you back to me, no matter how complicated things get. They can keep trying to separate us, but they're too late. You've already slipped into parts of me I didn't know existed. You've become the voice beneath my anger, the calm in my madness, the fire in my blood. You're not just someone I want. You're the one thing I refuse to lose. And that makes you untouchable to anyone who thinks they can buy your absence with a stack of bills and a quiet threat. They don't understand that taking you from me is the one thing I will never allow, even if I have to tear down everything they built to ensure it. So let them talk, let them offer, let them scheme. I'm done pretending to be the obedient son they raised. I'm done bowing to a crown that thinks it owns my heart. If they want a war, they can have one. Because when it comes to you, I'm not afraid to burn bridges, break oaths, or betray blood. I'll choose you, even if choosing you means turning against my own destiny. That's the truth they refuse to accept. And the truth you need to understand is this: you don't have to fight for me. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to stay, because as long as you're here, even at a distance, even in silence, I am unstoppable, and nothing, not money, not power, not bloodlines, will ever be enough to make me let you go. You have no idea how many nights I've replayed that moment in my mind, the moment they tried to buy your absence like it was something cheap, something negotiable, something that could be erased with a signature and a price. It showed me exactly how little they understand about you and how little they understand about me. They think this is something fragile, temporary, something I'll forget with time, but you're carved too deeply into me for anyone to scrape you out. They don't realize they weren't offering you money. They were offering me an insult, and I don't forgive insults easily. They believe they're protecting me. They believe removing you will keep me focused, disciplined, controlled, as if I ever asked for any of the roles they built for me, as if I ever wanted to belong to their perfect, polished world. What they don't know is that I never felt more alive than the day you walked into my life and disrupted every plan they had. You shook the ground under my feet, and for the first time, I wasn't afraid of falling. You made me want something for myself, something real, something dangerous, something human. And that's why they want you gone, because you pulled me away from the version of me they spent years manufacturing. But you standing there, refusing to be moved, refusing to be bought, that changed something inside me. It made me see you with a clarity I didn't have before, not as someone who wandered into my world by accident, but as someone strong enough to stay in it, even when they tried to shove you out. You didn't run, you didn't fold, you didn't trade me for safety, and that single choice told me more about you than anything you've ever said. It told me I could trust you. Even in the shadows, even in the fire, even when the ground shakes beneath us. I know you worry about becoming a target in this world. You think you're not built for it, not ready for the weight, not strong enough to handle the storms that come with me. But what you don't see is the strength you carry without realizing it. You walked into a kingdom built on steel and fear, and yet you still stand your ground. You face things that even grown men would bow to. And you do it quietly, without complaint, without asking me to shield you. That's why you're dangerous to them, because you cannot be intimidated into leaving. Sometimes I wonder if you understand how deep my loyalty runs, how far I would go for you. You think I'd choose duty over you. You think I'd put blood over my heart. But the truth is far darker than you imagine. I would turn against everything that raised me if it meant keeping you. I'd become the villain in every story they write if that's what it takes. I don't care what they think or what they fear or what they want. I only care about the one thing they can't control, my decision to stay by you, no matter the cost. And yes, part of me knows they'll try again. More money, more threats, more pressure. But every time they push, I'll pull you closer. Every time they try to break us, I'll show them how unbreakable you've made me. They don't realize that they created their own downfall. The second they try to use you as a weakness. Because you're not my weakness, you're the one thing that makes me dangerous enough to fight back. So let them come, let them test the limits of my patience, my silence, my restraint. They won't like the version of me they'll meet if they dare to take one more step toward you. Because I've already made my choice long before they tried to buy you away. And that choice is you, always you, even if the whole kingdom stands against it.